fam, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Hannah, aka Queen Han, back again with another video. As you guys can see by the title, you guys already know what are we going to be discussing today. But if you're new here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel as always. I'm a little annoyed, to say the least, when it comes to having to make this video, because I feel like I had already kind of closed the CVC doors, or closed that chapter per se. You know what I'm saying? I feel like having to readdress certain stuff, or these are not even, honestly, these aren't even stuff that I have addressed. I don't even think, never in my wildest dreams did I ever expect to have to make this video. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, you know, internet drama and going back and forth on social media is one thing, but when somebody is attempting to now assassinate your character or insinuate that you are something that you're not, I feel like I have no choice but to respond at this point. Because originally I felt like I was just going to kind of just keep quiet and just kind of let them have it. It is what it is kind of thing. But when you kind of spin an entire story to make somebody look some type of way, I'm not going for that. And, you know, before we get into this video, I just want to make it very clear, I'm not going to be discussing anything that took place between Major Cat and Jay, because that has nothing to do with me. Just like, you know, when it took place, I did not weigh in. I did not make any comments. I didn't like anything that Jay was posting. I did not repost it. I did not comment. I stayed completely out of it. There were people in my DMs asking me how I felt. Did you see it? Go live and talk about it. Not once did I ever, you know, confirm nor deny anything that Jay said. So to me, when my name was thrown into it, I was kind of taken aback. I was taken aback because I was like, well, hey, you know, from what I know, me and Major Cat, no, we don't talk every day, but we're cool. You know, we're in a good place, whatever. But, you know, obviously it wasn't, you know, that once I found out that I was blocked. So, which that's essentially kind of where I guess it kind of started with us. After they had went back and forth, I realized that I was blocked. And to me, it was just kind of like funny, because I felt like in my mind, I was just thinking, oh, well, she's probably like, well, this is like, she's like essentially best friends with Jay. So that's why she kind of blocked me. So I guess, I don't know who asked her. She claimed somebody asked her, or Jay asked her. Somebody asked her about the blocking situation when it came to me. And she posted and said that she had blocked me because I went back and told Jay about a phone call in which we had, and that I turned a positive phone call into mess. First of all, before we actually get into that, because I am going to go very much into detail with that, there was nothing positive about that phone call. I can tell you that now. There was absolutely nothing positive about that phone call from beginning to end. The phone call was approximately 30 to 40 minutes. If I'm not mistaken, I have the actual call log of that call, so I will show you guys that when we get to that point, but I believe the call was about 30 minutes. So yes, once she had mentioned that and they had gotten back to me that that was her reason for blocking me, I was annoyed in that moment. The first thing I posted, I was kind of like, girl, like, just kind of, girl, don't include me in your mess, you're a liar, blah, blah, blah. It was just very short little thing, and I'll post it right here for you guys to see exactly what I had said about Miss Kitty Cat. So long story short, she then makes this video, which I kind of knew she was already making a video because it was like being plastered everywhere, but I didn't think much of it. I honestly thought that it was more so towards Jay, because I didn't feel like we really even exchanged words or anything like that. So I didn't feel like, but I also knew she might, you know, she might attempt to say something about me. So getting into this video, I feel like there's a lot of things that she said in this video. Majority, all of what she said about me was complete cap. And I'm going to just break each and everything down for y'all one by one with the receipts, and we're going to move on from there. Once I do this, this is the end of it for me. I'm done. I don't care what people think. I don't care what she has to say after. I don't care anymore. I've said what I said, and it is what it is at this point. So all in all, I think it's safe to say that majority of our issue came from this famous phone call, as she would like to say, and that this phone call was made because me and Shorty, aka Leontra, were fishing for information to be messy. So my question to you, Miss Cat, first of all, if in fact we were trying to be messy and fish for information, why is it that we never mentioned this phone call? This phone call happened on November 9th or 10th, I believe. I believe it was the 9th. Why between November 9th and April have we not said, mentioned, or made public anything about this call? Why? If we had some type of ulterior motive when it came to this phone call, because you said a mouthful, to be honest, why is it that we never brought to light anything that was said in this phone call? Anyways, but like I was saying, I'm going to explain to you why the phone call even took place and just kind of my thought process behind it, because it's just a lot of cat. First, Major Cat says,
first thing she says is, hello, Miss Cat, how you doing, Miss Cat? I just wanted to talk to you, but can I chime Hannah in? Hannah's on the phone. And I say, okay, go on, put Hannah on the phone. She puts Hannah on the phone.
First of all, that is not even in the least bit true. Leontra, I'm not sure the origination of their conversation. Like I said, me and Leontra do not have that type of relationship. As you can see here, I'm going to post me and Leontra's iMessage thread. It's non-existent. So to me, it's like somebody who I don't even have a iMessage thread. How are we close enough to the point that we are on the phone and she's asking to three-way call me in, but we're not close enough to even share one message with each other? Anyways, but that's besides the point. I actually reached out to Major Cat to have a conversation with her. After the reunion, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like the reunion was kind of a setup. And I also didn't care for the narrative that was played during the show. And I felt like that narrative was continued into the reunion of the black girls is hating on this light-skinned pretty girl, and it's always about, oh, pretty girl this, pretty girl that. Like I had said, if you guys heard it in the reunion, they didn't cut that part out, was Carmen had made the comment, I get it, I've been the Puerto Rican light-skinned girl, something along those lines. What they did cut out was Kiana J also had, a little speech which she gave to everybody kind of about the bullying, whatever. And she kind of made a similar comment. She said, I've been, the girl with the pretty hair that's been hated on, blah, blah, blah. So to me, it's like you guys keep associating jealousy, hate with these physical attributes. To me, it seems like you guys keep building this narrative that we are jealous of this girl because she looks like this pretty light-skinned girl, and here are all these black girls hating on her because look at her, she's beautiful, blah, 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 whatever. I didn't like it, like I said, and I feel like I've been very vocal about this entire time before I even got any backlash, if anybody wants to say that, because I really haven't received backlash, if we're being honest. But they're trying to make it seem like because I received backlash, I started saying certain things, when in fact, episode 5, I was probably one of the favorites, if we're being honest, when it came to fans, if we're just, being honest. And I had already brought up that I had felt like there were some issues I felt like when it came pertaining to skin color and appearance and some of the favoritism that came along with that. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? And I could make a whole video about it when I say, and talk about my experiences that go from the casting call down to the reunion and so forth, so on and so forth, if we're just being honest. But I chose not to do that. But anyways, back to the story, because I feel like I'm kind of veering off. I decided that I wanted to talk to somebody because honestly it was bothering me. I felt like I kind of let down my fan base, because I know that my fan base is mainly black girls and that is my target audience. And I know that I would love to motivate my dark-skinned girls. Like, that's who I am. I feel like stuff like that is very important to me, and it's something I always speak up on. And y'all have seen that I have been very vocal about that, especially when it comes to pertaining to this show. So I felt like I let myself down. I let down my potential supporters by not speaking up in that moment about the things that I felt about, you know, skin color, especially as I was watching the narrative continue to be painted during the reunion. So it was really bothering me, and I just needed to talk to somebody about it. I felt like I needed to just get advice about how do I move forward. Am I going to regret never saying anything about it? You know, especially as I felt like that was essentially part of my brand. So at that moment, it was in between Ebony and Kat, and who I felt like I wanted to speak to. If y'all didn't know, Ebony is the manager, and I believe she's also the president or vice president of Neb Networks, Neb Management, whatever you want to call them. So I had spoke with, I believe, JJ, and we came up. I don't know. I can't remember how we decided, but I decided that Kat was the person that I was going to talk to. Like she said in the video, she liked me. I liked her too. So I felt very comfortable, you know, speaking to, like, feeling like I could speak to her. And I feel like just kind of her manner, and she's like real about stuff, and she'll say how she felt. I feel like that was the perfect person to talk to. Of course, looking back, I feel like in hindsight, I feel like Carmen really should have been the one that I was talking to, because I feel like she was kind of the center point of that issue for me. However, in that moment, I didn't feel like she would get it. If I'm just being honest, I didn't feel like she would get it or understand where I was coming from. And I mean, I don't know why I felt like Kat was looking back on it, but whatever. That was the premises of me even wanting to have a conversation with her. So I DM'd her and I asked her, can we have a conversation about the reunion, blah, blah, blah. She gave me her phone number, and she said, I'm teaching a class right now, but you can call me later. And I said, that's fine, because we were still in Houston. Now, this is November 9th. As you can see, I will include a clip of all of the girls. There's still plenty of us left in Houston at this point. People had went home, but me and JJ were still there. Me and JJ flew in together, and we flew out together as well. So me and JJ were together the whole time. We stayed together the entire time. Undercover was with us majority of the time as well. Mama was as well. Kaya Braids was there, but she left I think that day, like during the daytime. So anyways, she finally hits me up and says, you can call me now. So I called Kat directly. And I'm going to put the screenshot of our call log right here. Leontra did not three-way me into any call. I called Kat directly myself at 11:05 p.m. Central Time, 12:05 a.m. Eastern Time. As you can see it here, it's shown in the time zone in which I was when I called it 11:05, but I am from the East Coast. That would be 12:05 a.m. Whichever one you want to decide that was. So immediately when she answers the phone, it's, oh, hey Hannah, I'm on the other line with Shorty. I'm gonna just add you into the call. We're talking about the reunion. Or something like that. And I was kind of taken aback, but at the same time, I'm thinking, okay, maybe Shorty also had like the same issue as me, and she just felt like it was like whatever she was going to say to me, she could kind of say it to both of us because it was something we could both get. I don't know. But I also didn't think too much into it, because I was just like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, me and Leontra never did have that type of relationship. So it was just kind of like, it was random, but I didn't think too much into it. And who would? Like, for good reason. Why would you think that it was anything else, you know, anything else behind it? So she chimes us into the phone call, and I never even get to really say my point. I think I got to say I didn't really like the narrative that was painted of the black girls, and I felt like I should have said more. And she basically says, listen, this is a TV show. This is all for entertainment. Tardy was kept in the house because it would have been boring without her, because nobody wants to watch everybody be friends. So we kept Tardy because everybody didn't like her, or people didn't like her, and there was drama with her or whatever, because it would have been boring to watch everybody in the house be friends. And I got that, you know, in the moment when she's saying I got that, I understand entertainment purposes, blah, blah, blah. But it's like she keeps talking. She keeps going. She even gets to the point now she's like, she says Jay is boring, that she shouldn't have won. She didn't deserve to win because she was boring, and that all the girls on the show were boring, if she's just being honest, other than, I believe she quoted me, Tardy, Braids, Undercover, and maybe Shorty because Shorty was on the phone. I don't remember her saying Shorty, but I think she might have said Shorty because she was on the phone, because I don't think she called her boring to her face. She basically says, other than those people, everybody else on the show was boring, including Jay. She said when it came to the top 2, if she had a choice, she would have picked Undercover. That's what she said. If she came to the top 2, if she had to pick out of those top 2 ladies, she would have picked Undercover over Jay. But if she had her way, her top 2 was Tardy and Braids. That's what she said. There was no, I picked Undercover because of her story. No, that's not what happened. She said the only reason she picked Undercover, she said if she had to pick out of the top 2 that in reality were the top 2. But if she had her own, it would have been Braids and Tardy. Nobody asked her for this information. I don't care about this information. What could I possibly even do with that information? I could give 2 fucks about who you think would have been anything. I called you to talk about what I felt like I did not like about the show in terms of the narrative, and I feel like it's very evident because ever since the show came out, that's really the only grievance I've had with the show in general. I have never spoken and said, oh, I didn't like this, I didn't like the editing, I didn't like this. The only thing I ever said bothered me was I felt like there was favoritism that was rooted in appearance, aka also skin color. I've never said anything else, had any other issues with the show, and that's just a fact. You can go and watch all my recaps. I've never, ever said anything other than that. So where would I come from? That's what I'm trying to get at, for me to come and say anything other than that. I just want to address the fact that she keeps saying that I took her words and spinned it and gave it to Jay how I wanted to, or whatever she's trying to say. Jay and Undercover were in the hotel room with me when the call was placed. They were there throughout the entire call, 2 feet away from me. We're in a hotel room. There's not much place you can go in a hotel room. If you've been in a hotel room, you know that there's nowhere you can go. I didn't think to step out of the room or anything like that. Why? Because they already knew what I wanted to speak to Kat about, so I didn't feel like it was no secret conversation or anything like that. So why would I step out of the room to talk about something I feel like I've already spoken to these girls about, especially, like, you know, with that narrative and the bullying narrative and the light skin shit and all that. I feel like that was something I had already spoken to them about. So what reason did I have to step out of the room? So she's going on and on about Jay and everybody's boring, and Jay's sitting right here, and Jay is literally livid in that moment. She's livid. She's trying to record the phone call, like, you know, in that moment. And I think it's so crazy because I told her, I said, no, I don't want you to record the phone call, because it's like, I know Jay, we're cool, but I don't know her like that yet at this point. At this point, I met you in September. It's only November. I don't know if you're going to, the minute she hangs up, go post the call on Instagram or something, or post it on YouTube and like flip out, because now that looks bad. It reflects bad on me because I look like I'm being messy, that we called Kat and recorded the phone call, the conversation. That just looks weird, and that is the only reason that there isn't actual physical recording of the phone call. And you know, it's so crazy to me because had this phone call been recorded, like, there would be no conversation. There would literally be no conversation right now, because I wouldn't have to say anything. I would have just posted the phone call and let people be the judge of it. But like I said, I feel like this person has sat here and kind of spinned this entire story against me to try to make me look like, to portray me as something that I'm not and that I have never shown myself to be. For what reason? Other than the fact that the only thing I've really spoken negatively about the show, or the integrity of the show, as she likes to call it, is that I felt like there was favoritism based on appearance and or skin color. And I have experiences, like I said, I can list multiple experiences from casting to the final episode to the reunion in which there was some funny shit going on. That's a fact, but I didn't put that stuff out there because I didn't, like I said, I didn't feel like all of it was necessarily intentional. So I did not want to paint that narrative of Carmen, because like I said, I do really like Carmen. Me and Carmen have already had a one-on-one conversation more recently about it. And I felt like she was very understanding, and she listened to and respected my opinion and how I felt. And that's all I could ever ask from her. So to me, I had already put that issue to bed. To me, it's like I just look at all of this and I'm like, you went to this great extent. Like, you went to a great length to try to assassinate my character over my opinion and how I felt my experience was. And that's really what it gives to me, because like I said in my video, my last recap, when it came to the reunion, I never spoke on Kat. I didn't even say her name. I did not say manipulation, bully, none of that. Everything that she had a problem with that Jay said in her video, none of that was said in my video. So for you to come for me, to me, it seems like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the situation that happened with OG on Basketball Wives. She spoke about the colorism on the show, and they started trying to paint her as the villain of the show. To me, that's the type of energy it's giving. I don't know. I'm not going to make any assumptions, but I feel like it's weird that the only thing I've ever said about the show was I felt like there was kind of some skin color issues going on in the show, and then all of a sudden now there's this video out trying to insinuate that I'm this type of person. To me, it seems like you guys are trying to assassinate my character to discredit what I said. And that's really what I see it as. So I'm not sure where it came from. To me, it's very random that you now have all this smoke for me, and I never sent for you or insulted you in any way. I never mentioned your name until you mentioned me. It's just kind of weird to me. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, what's going on? It looks very weird to me that the only thing I've ever said about this show was it was some issues with skin color to me. That was my experience as a black woman. And Major Cat, respectfully or disrespectfully, you as a light-skinned woman do not get to tell me about my experience, and you can never tell me about my experience. And just like your fave on the show, Braids is your favorite, the other dark-skinned girl on the show said she had the same experience. So who are you to speak on what us black women felt on the show? You don't even have no leg to stand on to try to tell us about our experience. Excuse you. You're excused. But that's really it. I'm not even going to go into too much detail in this video. I feel like I've given every receipt that is necessary to give. She claimed that Shorty chimed me into the call. That was a lie. She claims that I told Jay about what was said, when in reality Jay was in the room to hear everything that she said herself, so was undercover. That was a lie. I just feel like if you would lie about these little things, it's not even that you lied about these little things. You didn't forget and make a mistake. You created a whole different story about what happened. And to me, that's a dangerous type of person. You're a liar. You're a sneaky. Now I believe that you are a manipulator and that you will say anything to paint a perfect narrative of what you want it to look like. And that's a dangerous type of person in my book. But I'm not going to say too much, because at the end of the day, it just shows you guys, if somebody would lie about something like that, all these videos that she has put out, imagine what else she's lying about. Let's just keep it a buck. And it's like you're giving a bad name to the show. You are tarnishing the name of the show, because now it looks like production is messy. And it's not even that it looks like production is messy. It's showing, it's exposing that production is messy. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I don't have an issue with Carmen. I'm still so always grateful for, you know, everything that Carmen has given me, the platform that she has given me. I still feel like she has been very supportive of me, and I will always support her tenfold. Like I said, me and Carmen have already had our conversation about my one and only issue that I had with the show. And I said I'm good with her response to me. I feel like she was good with me, so I'm good with that. And, you know, we moved on from that. I'm good with Carmen. I think she's good with me, and that's really all I can say. As for anybody else, I can't speak for them. Like I said, I'm not going to speak on Jay's situation. I'm going to allow her, if she wants to speak on it, to speak on it. If she's not, then she doesn't. But it has nothing to do with me. And to all the other CBC girls who are encouraging the mess that Kat is doing, commenting, kikiing, liking shit disrespectfully, fuck you, and consider yourself unfollowed. But other than that, shout out to the Han fam. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for all the words of support. I see it. I appreciate it. I love you guys so much. I'm so excited for our journey. We are now really putting CBC to bed, and I'm so excited for everything that we are going to do thus far, or moving forward, should I say. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you guys are new to my channel. That is really it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.